Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. For those of you who don't know me, hello, my name is Roger and I'm now an incoming freshman at the University of California, San Diego. In today's video, I'll be taking you guys on another one of my custom mechanical keyboard builds because you know the addiction is real. So, let's get started. The keyboard we're going to be building today will be the CKW80 by Changkey Works. The keyboard comes in this amazing packaging that is absolutely beautiful. I love the minimal black and orange color scheme and the magnetic flap, which just makes the unboxing experience a bit more premium. Inside the box, we're greeted with a top layer that holds the components and a lower layer that holds the keyboard itself. The components layer came with a pack of foam, a piece of masking tape for the tape mod, 3 plates, palm, polycarbonate, and FR4, a hot swap PCB, some screwdriver bits, and a custom branded tweezer and screwdriver. And of course, on the lower layer, we have the CKW80 itself and this classy carrying pouch. The carrying pouch itself is extremely high quality. It has this stunning Hermes orange color on the exterior and a very minimal branding stamped on the accessories pouch. Inside the pouch, we also have a set of mounting pads for the top mount, a daughter board and JST cable, and also 2 batteries for Bluetooth. And the interior of the bag is made of a velvet material which will keep the board perfectly safe. Alright, so as usual, let's chuck on the rubber feet and open the case up. The main theme of the CKW80 is focused around smoking and cigarettes, which I'm not really a huge fan of. Cigarette elements are present on both the top and bottom case, especially this RGB light that represents a burning cigarette. However, I did really like how the designer chose to engrave smoking is harmful to health on the bottom case, so good job on that, CKW. The overall build quality of the case is excellent. This CNC machining is really high in quality and extremely smooth to the touch. The 220 grit anodization in this lavender color is just a masterpiece and probably one of the smoothest finishes I've ever seen, just a bit shy of the Vega. The corners of the board have been rounded off with a G2 curve, which I obviously have no clue about, and the edges have also been filleted. The bezels are thin on the sides and slightly thicker on the top and bottom to help balance it out. The top case also has this slightly raised design to give the board a bit more dimension while maintaining its simplicity. The back of the keyboard also comes with a multicolored PVD weight, which really complements the purple color of the case and should also help with acoustics. Despite not having a centered USB due to the variety of mounting options offered, the CKW80 does offer this interchangeable USB port feature, which allows for both left and right USB ports. And it's honestly quite neat in my opinion. The side profile is seamless, sleek, and simple. It has a 20mm front height and a 7-degree incline, which is a bit uncomfortable for me without using a wrist rest. Now the CKW80 offers not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 mounting configurations: plateless, top mount, gasket mount, and PCB leaf spring gasket mount. They each have their own uniqueness and provide a very different typing experience and sound profile. The switches for today's build will be the Wild switches manufactured by TTC. The switch is made up of a rather regular blend of PC top, nylon bottom, and palm stem, and is available in 2 different spring weight configurations: 42-gram actuation, 52-gram bottom out, and 55-gram actuation, 68-gram bottom out. I opted for the 55-gram version, which honestly does feel pretty dang heavy. These switches came factory lubed, and in my opinion, the lubing is on point and consistent. Plus, the sound is really decent. I also didn't hear any spring crunches or leaf ping, so I just went ahead and filmed them with TX switch films. As for the stabilizers, I'll be using the Staebies screw-in stabilizers. I lube the stabilizer housings and stem with a very light coat of Krytox 05G0 and lube the wires with a light coat of XHT-BDZ. The CKW80 also comes with a hot swap PCB. It has a 5-pin south-facing switch configuration and supports quite a few layout options. The PCB is also fully compatible with Vega, which makes remapping keys a lot easier. In addition, there is support for Bluetooth 5.1 for up to 2 devices, which in my opinion is pretty great for keeping your desk clean and free of cables. Now, my unit came with the 1.6mm PCB instead of the 1.2mm, which is what's included for the GB. I actually really enjoy the 1.6mm PCB as it gives the board a fuller sound as well as a stiffer typing experience. However, flex hoods are present on every row, which I'm not really a huge fan of, as it tends to lead to a thinner sound and overall quieter acoustics. I ended up taping all the flex cuts with electrical tape to improve the sound signature of the board. And I guess it's totally up to personal preferences, as some people might take advantage of the quieter sound profile, throw in some silent switches, while being able to enjoy the more flexible typing experience. So you probably have to try out a few configurations yourself before knowing what's best for you. Before installing the switches, there are also some optional foam that is included. First, we obviously have the PE foam, which goes in between the PCB and the switches to create that marbly sound. Next, we have the plate foam, which goes in between the plate and the PCB. Then we also have the masking tape, which goes below the PCB, and finally the bottom case foam. Me personally, I'm not really a huge fan of this foamy and marbly sound signature, as I get bored of it very often. After several trials and configurations, I found out that top mount with plate foam works the best for me. Because of the 4 mounting options offered by the board, you do have to be careful with the order in case you want to try them all. I highly recommend trying the PCB leaf spring gasket mount and playlist first, as breaking the mounting tabs on the PCB is irreversible. And yes, I do repeat it again, it's irreversible. Personally, I don't really recommend trying playlist with hot swap due to the stability issues with the switches. If you do want to try out playlist before fully committing to it, I really recommend you getting a hot swap PCB, test out all the 4 mounting options, and if you do decide to commit to playlist in the end, then get a solder PCB. In addition, the keyboard comes with porn gasket strips with adhesives instead of those removable silicone gasket socks, so I really recommend you friction fitting those gasket strips if you do want to try all 4 mounting options. These gasket strips are really hard and basically impossible to remove once you've installed them, and even if you do manage to remove them, they'll probably be stretched and deformed and might impact the sound and typing experience of the keyboard. Alright, so let's put this keyboard. At the end of the day, the CKW80 is a fantastic keyboard. As far as sound, it's not as airy and thin sounding as expected given all the flex cuts. The typing experience is nice and soft on all 4 mounting configurations and is a pleasure to type on. The alphas are nice and bright, the mods are on point, and the spacebar, in my opinion, is pretty dang good. And also, there's no weird rattling and hollowness to the case, which is a huge plus. And overall, there's a good amount of character to the acoustics as far as what I hear. Considering the base price of $350 with a ceiling of $439, which can still be quite expensive, I'd still say the CKW80 offers a pretty strong value to price ratio. Visually, the anodization and CNC is on point and there's a lot of striking elements to it. Paired with the 4 mounting options that resonates more with your own own personal preferences, I'd say that the CKW80 is a very solid board. On the other hand, the board is themed around cigarettes and smoking, which might not be acceptable to everyone, so I guess it's really up to you to decide. I'm gonna stop talking now and let you guys have a listen. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing and pressing the like button down below. Also, feel free to leave your thoughts on the CKW80 or just any other suggestions to the channel down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Wishing you guys all a fantastic rest of your day. Till the next one, peace.